There's a place at the end of the road.
2018 GSL Season 3 RagnaroK. The genius that was born again in the dawn has grown to be the king. But the battle is only about to begin. Take your opponents down, or you will fall down under their feet. There will be only glory for the winner and pain for the loser. Rise up, higher, ever higher, or fall forever. GSL Season 3. This is RagnaroK.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day here at the GSL Code S. We had a kick-ass day yesterday. We've got a busy week this whole week.
Yeah. Good to be back again today. You know, I feel like you broke the law yesterday.
Yeah?
Tasteless. Yeah.
How so?
Well, you perform necrocasteria because you were casting with a dead body yesterday.
Oh, I was. That was. We should call that the JSL, the Jet Lag StarCraft
Oh
League.
my God, I was so out of it yesterday. Like,
you feeling better?
I was watching the games in cognitive view. I'm like, this is really interesting.
Yeah.
And I want to be excited, but my brain is off. And today I feel like 100%. I'm like feeling great. I can't wait. Have that good old excitement here. As you can see, guys, 3-4-3, looking good so far. Of course, we had Hyundai yesterday, so one of the horsemen out of the tournament, the 4th place today. We already got Gumyo in there as well.
That's right.
So we might have 4 of the top 5 Terrans in the world advance, and hopefully. And of course, it's a sick Protoss lineup and such a good Zerg lineup as well. Only Solar not making it through as far as top-end Zergs.
We had an interesting day yesterday with Hardy nearly getting out of the group. Unfortunately, he did not manage to make it, but he was responsible for the outing of Beyond. Moving on to today's match, we have TY, RagnaroK, Bunny, and Trap. Now, I think RagnaroK and Bunny are great players. Maybe they can get out of this group, but most likely it's going to be TY and Trap.
Yeah, they are gigantic favorites here. Trap is quietly one of the best Protoss in the world, and TY, I would actually put him as second best Terran in the world right now.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
After Maru, yeah. So I look at this and I'm like, I mean, I do respect these two guys. They are strong players, but they are outclassed. And if either of them gets out, Bunny and RagnaroK, I'll be surprised.
Okay, we were surprised he didn't make it to the finals last season. He's made it to end of almost every GSL round of 16. It's TY. Hey everybody, it's me, TY.
4강에서 떨어져서 너무 아쉬움이 컸는데
And last season I got eliminated in the semifinals.
시즌에 만회하고
That was
싶고
obviously a big disappointment to me.
시즌에는
I'm here to
결승까지
make up
가서
for that. And hopefully I
결승
can make it to the
무대와
finals this
블리즈컨
time
두 마리
around.
토끼를 잡을 수 있도록 열심히 준비하겠습니다. 오늘도 많이 응원해 주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
And not
감사합니다.
just this finals, but BlizzCon as well. Hopefully you guys cheer for me.
2시즌 만에 코데스에 복귀했습니다. 새로운 유니폼을 입고 16강에
He's back
다시
to Codex
도전하는
after 2
사이스톤
seasons.
게이밍 신이범 선수입니다.
And with a new uniform, he's here. It's Psionic Storm RagnaroK.
입니다. 저번
Hey everybody, I'm
시즌에는
RagnaroK.
부담이 너무 커서 예선도 못 올라갔는데 이번 시즌에는
Last season I felt a lot of pressure to play in the GSL, but
잘 하도록 하겠습니다. 많은
this
응원
season I'm feeling good.
부탁드립니다.
I don't feel the pressure.
11번째 코데스를 맞은 진에어 그린윙스 조성호 선수. 지난 시즌 16강에서 패했던
It's his
전태환
11th
선수에게
GSL.
복수할 수 있을지 기대해봅니다.
He's made it to the round of 16.
네, 안녕하세요. 지네어
Can he
그린스의
redeem himself
프로토스
from last season? Hey
조성호입니다.
everybody, I'm Trap.
일단 오늘은
From Jenner Green Wings.
32강이다 보니까 좀 편안한 마음으로 왔고요.
So this is just the round of 32.
일단 재밌게
I'm feeling
게임하고
pretty comfortable
싶고
today.
오늘 재밌게 게임하려면 또
Hopefully we have a lot of fun today.
게임은 이겨야 재밌기
and have
때문에
some
오늘
entertaining
꼭
games.
이기도록 하겠습니다.
But not just having fun games, I want to win it as well.
네, 조상우 선수까지 오늘 3명.
Well, that does it for our interview. In case you're saying, but tasteless, where's Bunny? Bunny's not here yet.
No.
He's late. He's either
He's
stuck
running
in
late.
traffic. So hopefully he gets here before his match starts.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
I would imagine he will. But if he doesn't, then I guess he gets to play RagnaroK a little bit later on. Probably
guess
will
so.
anyways.
Yeah.
But
We're not really sure what's going to happen with that. We were just notified a few minutes before he went on air.
Yeah, this
So-
normally doesn't happen, but hopefully
This almost never happens.
gets here most
Since
ASAPly.
it's all the same people here all the time in GSL. So hopefully Bunny does get down here in time.
Yeah. So TY coming into this, I think that he is such a gigantic favorite. Like, this is someone that absolutely could have won GSL last season. Zest barely took him out, bringing out every trick in the book, and TY is one of the few people that Maru's like, yeah, I don't want to play him, right? And
Right.
we generally in the past have thought of TY's TBT as being a bit better than Maru's, but anyways, that doesn't matter right now. He's going up against RagnaroK, who has shown signs of brilliance from time to time. Kind of his play varies quite a bit. Like, sometimes he's very cheesy, very aggressive, bringing out some cutting-edge builds and stuff, and sometimes he tries to play a more normal, standard game. But we don't see him that often. He hasn't been overly successful. There's definitely been times where he's been able to take maps and series off good players, but this group is insanely tough.
It really is.
Like, even Bunny, who is one of these guys that you don't expect to make it out of this group, is a really good TVC player. So RagnaroK has his work cut out for him. If he can make a splash in this group, that's a big deal for him.
If RagnaroK dies in this best of 3, it's not a huge shocker, but it'd be cool to see an upset here. TY definitely the favorite. Anyways, this is game 1 in our first best of 3 tonight. Let's go.
Match 1. Fight. Splice. TY. Storm Gaming, RagnaroK.
Yeah, very interesting to see what RagnaroK will be up to here. Coming back more recently to more activity. Of course, Storm has picked him up recently, so congrats to them. Saw Parting also join that team. Of course, they have Gumiho, and definitely have some good pickups over there.
Yes, certainly.
We'll see if RagnaroK can do a lot for them here. Because the thing is, it's like, right, with Parting, you get a player where, yeah, he didn't make it out, but he gave really flashy games. His stream is really popular and all that. You don't really think of RagnaroK even as a streamer or anything like that.
That is so sick.
Yeah,
that drawing is so good. Oh my god.
That was really
This is the
good.
best drawing we've had in the GSL.
He must have printed that out.
I
There's
hope
no way.
I want to believe he printed that out and just markered on the
He can't be
words. Nobody's that good.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the
Crazy.
by the way, we are seeing more and more of this build of this pool first stuff coming out once again.
From where? Singapore. With love.
Excellent. Welcome.
Welcome.
But yeah, the 6 slings have been made, so we'll see if RagnaroK can cause a cancel on TY's command center. We saw this happen to Byun when he went up against Impact yesterday, if I recall correctly. I was incredibly jet lagged, so I don't remember 100%, but yeah, he canceled the command center, right? He forced
he
the
did.
cancel.
He did
Yeah.
force a cancel.
Yeah, so the Ling's running way around.
This seems to be a total reaction. The Zerg build is a total reaction to just the way the Terrans are playing. I don't know how long it's going to stick around. I think some of that's up to whether or not Terrans keep doing what they're doing right now.
Yeah, like bringing this Reaper back, I mean, suddenly these Zerglings are not worth very much, are they?
Right. And of course, you can protect that SCV if you have the Reaper there, which makes me wonder if maybe RagnaroK elected for the wrong build here. Now the SCV is being chased away. The problem is in theory, as long as the Reaper's microed correctly, the Reaper should never die, and the Lings move on. And, you know, that's 6 Lings could have been 3 drones. And a different build would have been an earlier hatchery. So, you know, there's a lot. There's a lot to break down with this as far as
it's a brutal analysis, but it's accurate.
Was it worth it to do this? Because it seems like you've already stubbed your toe in this race to get a lead here economically and get a good opener. So I think TY's in good shape. Now, I want to go big picture here because I feel like there's been 2 major narratives this year. And it's almost like it's out of a bad, poorly written movie that nobody would believe. Okay. Where you have one guy outside of Korea, Cyril, who's winning everything, and Maro inside Korea, who's won every GSL Code S. Now, the year before this, it was a little bit different. We had, you know, what we refer to as the 4 horsemen of Terran. I don't know if that phrase has as much meaning now as Maro's been so dominant. It's like we have Maro and the 3 musketeers of Terran or something like that.
No, I mean, I think it's still there. Byun is underperforming a little bit, but TY made top 4. Innovation won Home Story Cup.
You're getting ahead of me, Artos. What I wanted to point out is TY's the guy who actually has still been in the background and has still been very good, but this insane narrative that we've already had is kind of crazy and really eats up a lot of the thoughts that we can have about StarCraft because it is such an intriguing story that we have. Now, TY's coming down here. He's already done a decent amount of damage to these drones. 7 kills now 9. And I think if he gets one more shot off, it's going to get even higher. No. So 9 drone kills.
Well, this is like... RagnaroK really is having a hard time this game. Right? He did the initial 6 Lings.
Right.
After going pool first, that did 0. Now he lost 9 drones immediately. Things are not looking good for a Zerg player here.
So the Overlord's going to come in here and get a scout off. I don't even know if he wants to cancel Cloak. I think with the condition that, okay, he does do it anyways. All right. Yeah. I was wondering if he even needed to, considering how well this game's been going so far. TY really hasn't had a loss just yet.
I think once they see Cloak has already done its damage because they have to do the exact same thing whether or not you can cancel it, right? So I think that's maybe the logic behind it.
I guess I wonder if the same way that Zergs are trying to do this Ling build a lot of times to kill that command center, if maybe it might actually be worth it to mix it up and in fact actually go for a Cloak.
Oh, you think like he might skimp on spores or something, like get 1 spore or something like that?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's food for thought.
It's possible.
We'll see if it actually continues on. Because there is a whole game of bluffs.
Yeah, to be fair,
on in StarCraft
this spore is late. He could get every drone here if he had done that. So actually, I guess Cloak would be barely not done yet, right? So
Cloak would be a little bit further away, but I mean, he might have been able to do a little bit more. We'll have to. I just want to put that out there, since this build has been, one that's a pattern here in the GSL.
Yeah, I'm fine with the pool first builds because they also stop proxy double barracks, which is very popular. And as everyone knows, the win rate just so high. But what really kills me this game for RagnaroK is losing those 9 drones to a Reaper and 4 Hellions right off the bat.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And the thing is, it was like a Reaper and 2 Hellions, then 2 more Hellions game. It's like, oh, that's way too much damage for you to take right now. And you can kind of just look at the production tab at the moment and see that TY is getting absolutely everything on Earth and has map control.
Yeah.
And RagnaroK is, he's got his drone count up reasonably. He's started some upgrades.
Looks like he's going to be able to defend this Overlord for the time being.
And his creep spread isn't bad, too.
No, the creep spread itself is actually fine. Yeah. We have some more tanks coming out here. Now, we've seen a couple variants of, I really want to say it's Bunny's style, since we really saw him doing it the most of all first. But Maro was the one who seemed to seize it and really crank out wins. But I wonder if we are going to have that.
Well, the Bunny push, as we were calling it right in the beginning, was extra tricky because it was against Protoss when he was first using it, where it's like, he would hide the fact that he had 2 siege tanks. And the thing is, a lot of times Terrans wouldn't, and they'd move out with a very similar looking army. So Protoss would be like, oh, what? And it's like, you're sitting there with the depths and sentries getting pummeled.
I don't know if we're going to have anything like that this game, since there is a 3rd base being taken here. Yeah. But it is worth just pointing out that we have seen this build sort of popularized, and pretty much no matter what, when you get these tanks, you want to try to push them into a position, set up, and try to pressure the Zerg into a fight. Or otherwise get into range of a hatchery, start to take that out.
Yeah. How many siege tanks did he make? Do you know? Because he
think he's
switched
up
over
to
to
2 now.
mines, which is I find kind of a little bit interesting.
Let's see, he's rolling out now. Now this is where the 4th base is being taken. He's going to go for the rocks for the time being.
Yeah, I guess the tanks are probably with him, so we'll see in just a moment. But he is continuing some... Okay, so a couple siege tanks. This might be just specifically for this push. This is a really strong place to actually push as well and utilize siege tanks. Like this exact spot is very good for pressuring that forward. So let's see what he can get done here. Getting rid of a lot of creep. Looks like some counter harassment came in, but was dealt with.
And RagnaroK's just now going to finish 1-1, so he might want to decide to attack now that he can soak up a little bit more damage, but I'm getting a little bit worried here. He's coming in now. A lot of Banelings here in the back, stimming and forking out.
He's got Baneling's speed done, so that's definitely very helpful, but the Baneling's not connecting with what they need to there.
And in fact, one of these tanks remains alive, and that just may be the end of this game.
That's brutal. He actually had like a very decent set of units there. It's just you know, when you're rolling through with the Banelings and the tanks are getting the shots that they need and they aren't connected with the Marines, you're just not going to have the damage left to take out these Marines, and this is too much.
Yeah, these Banelings isolated from the rest of the army. They're going to go down. Some decent Baneling connections, but at the end of the day, the Stim Marines can continue to roll in here, and there's plenty more reinforcements to boot.
Yeah, TY just kind of, you know, going right through RagnaroK now, and, you know, if it weren't for those 2 siege tanks well positioned and well targeted, then I think he would have held on here, and we could have had a real game, you know, with the 4th base and all. But RagnaroK has taken far too much damage here. Even if he kills all these units here and all these medevacs and all the units walking across the map, you know, TY is still going to be fine.
Yeah, you can see RagnaroK is trying to set up 2 more bases, a hatchery over there at the bottom right of our screen, just to the left of that. I'm sorry, he actually switched where he was going to move that. But I don't believe a 4th base is going to happen. I think we're slowly seeing RagnaroK get choked out here, especially with the position that TY has now. He's in between all possible rally points. And there's still plenty of medevac energy here. This should be GG. There it is. TY takes game 1.
Hey, look, okay, so the opening of the game was very tough on RagnaroK, okay? And RagnaroK comes in as a big underdog.
Right.
But I think that game is going to make people underestimate who RagnaroK is right now, because I actually saw some things in there that looked really nice to me as far as his play went, right? His upgrades, he still hit pretty much on time. His creep spread was still very legit. You know, his like kind of zoning of the Hellions was okay after the first 4. I like the macro hatch at the 3rd base with that type of speed. I like the speed of the Hydralisk Den and the Baneling speed. Like, there was a lot of good things in RagnaroK's play. It's just TY got a gigantic edge in the first couple minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And a player like TY won't give that up. It just, like, guys, this is the 2nd best Terran in the world. Like, if you screw up early game, he's going to make you look bad no matter how good you are.
Yeah, well, you make 1 or 2 mistakes, and a lot of times it looks pretty rudimentary, right? The Terran pushes out and just rolls over the Zerg, and you go, wow, that guy's so much better. But there were so many holes to punch into RagnaroK. He was way, way behind, and that's what it looks like when you're against one of the best Terrans of all time.
Fight. Splice. TY. Storm Gaming, RagnaroK.
So there's a whole other story going on here, Artosis. We've talked about these 2 great players, and the TY's the favorite, but what if this match ends too quickly and Bunny's not at the studio yet? What about that story?
Yeah, well, I was actually wondering about that as well, Tasteless. So it's kind of a funny thing that could occur. I mean, I don't know what the rules are of that.
See our staff guy on the phone down there. I bet he's on the phone with Bunny.
Yeah, he might be, actually. That would be the right person to call him, too.
Yeah. So we're just going to see. We're going to see if he gets here. I don't know.
It's kind of funny.
We basically never, ever have this happen, but I hope he's all right. I hope it wasn't like some kind of personal emergency.
Oh, I hope not.
I hope he slept in. I hope
I hope it's not something terrible.
Tragic, yeah.
I hope it's rather something stupid.
Yeah.
Like forgetting an alarm. Now, this is a pool first build again. Let's see if he makes 6 lings. Popping 2. Queen. If it's just 2, generally you're just going to run around the Reaper, and obviously you're not looking for a cancel as much as just a delay. But this game, and I think this is based just purely off of Game 1, TY is sending out a scouting SCV. And we've seen the reemergence of this a little bit right alongside these pool first builds, because this is a great way to, you just go down, you check the hatchery, you're like, okay, it was pool first. And suddenly your Reaper stays at home. But this is a more conservative pool first build, where he's getting the queen quickly, he's only made a couple lings, and this forces the Reaper to stay home. So it's just kind of an interesting little to and fro that we're seeing here. This is actually a good mind game by RagnaroK. It's like a good counter by TY.
Yeah.
But RagnaroK is kind of countering the counter by not making 6 lings.
It's the counter of the counter of the counter.
Well, that's what TY has to do now, so I'll let you know as soon as I see it. But
so the CC should finish up here, no problem. And there's not much more to remark about, at least at this point in time in the game.
No.
RagnaroK's droning up. It's good to see that RagnaroK did not have a bumpy opening like he did in Game 1.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will focus so much on an end-game push and how someone got owned, and they don't really take the time to appreciate how the start of a game was panning out. And, you know, you could spend all day talking about how he could have or would have or should have tried to handle the push. But really, it oftentimes comes to just losing momentum early on.
Yeah.
The win taken out of RagnaroK's sails there.
Ooh!
Oh my god, it just gets in.
What a solid scout right there. Really nicely done with those 2 lings that were sitting to the side. Get right over the depot, so they get a full scout as to what's going on. You see that lift up. All right. So, of course, TY just kind of faking out there for a moment, getting a Viking. He's trying to make it look like he's going to go ahead and swap, and he's hoping that there will be a counter play towards Banshees because of that liftoff, but RagnaroK could read into that. It seemed kind of obvious when he lifted it and it wasn't moving that it was going to land again, you know?
Yeah.
But then, of course, the counter to that would have been to actually swap it after he left Tasteless.
It's nothing but counters to counters.
Just countering!
Yeah.
It's like we're at...
If this was part of the kitchen, it'd be the countertop.
This game is like IKEA. It's crazy. Look at all the counters.
So we got Stim on the way here. There was a Viking out, and that's to bully away the Overlords and try to make the map a darker place. Go ahead, Artos.
He added 2 racks right away here. Now, will he go up into 5 racks play, or will he go into a 3rd command center? That's what we're looking out for at the moment.
He might actually just go for 5 racks.
Yeah.
I mean, just the way that last game went, I think TY might be saying to himself, I'm better. We're early on in this tournament. Every game, even though this game was a game I should win, I don't think he would be 5 racksing against a top tier player. So you might as well get this build out. TY's a player, like he said in his interview, he actually wants to go to the finals, right? Which means you have to be planning this every single game. If you show your very best TVZ builds, the other good Zerg players are going to be watching that and taking notes. So maybe he will do something like that, or at least along those lines of thought, a more alternative build.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of interesting. It could be like, I mean, 5 racks is kind of a dated build, and it kind of puts a lot of pressure on both sides. As the Terran player, it's like you must do damage with this, and as the Zerg, it's like, oh, you could die if you mess up at all. You will die to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of interesting, but he hasn't added any Raxes as of yet, just kind of making some medevacs, he's making siege tanks. We could just see a dedicated push trying to abuse terrain as well. Not sure exactly what TY's plan is. I'm just, you know, the slowness of the 3rd command center is interesting, though.
K11's on the way. We got a lot more Marines and tanks, medevacs, all that coming out here. Note that he's really not showing that much over here at the entrance.
Yeah, I think he's just going to do a very dedicated push here.
I believe so.
And
look, he's actually hitting it fairly well. So keep in mind, he drove out the Overlords, guys. He has these Hellions and the Viking to kind of be out in the front. He wants this push to show up like some kind of alien space landing, like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And suddenly RagnaroK's having to react.
Yeah, so this actually could do fantastically. The rocks are not broken down. I think he's going to use that same abusive spot that Maru used against Rogue last season.
Not to mention that this is way out of... Oh, that was so sick!
God.
You did, oh,
that
man.
was amazing.
Oh, man.
If only he had a 2nd mule there.
I know.
Okay, he's trying to get on top of these Banelings, and there's no Baneling speed yet, so...
Okay, so keep in mind he's also outside the range of the attack and armor upgrades here for the Zerg, while infantry weapons is just now finishing as the damage is already beginning to snowball.
Yeah, that spot right there that he utilized, like not only did he surprise him, but right there is a very strong location, very hard to break when you have siege tanks.
Denying armor, by the way, still wedged in between the rally points. RagnaroK basically has to stop this in the next, I would say, 20, 30 seconds, so this game's over.
Yeah,
in fact, it looks like the Hatchery is getting targeted here. The kiting has begun. He's now in range. Oh, my God.
Jeez. Well, TY has just completely brutalized RagnaroK here.
Oh, she rode.
Yeah.
No more Baneling's Nest, no more RagnaroK for this match. He will be going to the losers match as he digests his loss. And TY is going to be one best-of-3 victory away from moving on to that coveted round of 16 spot.
GG. Yeah, that's a tough one. And I think if you play like, well, I already know if you play like a Maru or a TY, probably an innovation as well on Catalyst at this point, that area is an area you have to pay such close attention to. Like, you have to actually do something extra and special on Catalyst so that tanks in that position don't destroy you, because it's like too hard to flank and it's too small a ramp to go down, and they can hit before you have Baneling speed or Hydras in any number.
It also seems like you only need one tank to be in range, like super in range. The other ones can be way far back, super safe. And if you were to lose that tank somehow, you just bring up the next one.
Yeah. And Maru didn't even bring a tank to the high ground. He just microed around up there for a while, you know, and that was against Rogue. So that's a very strong location right there. So yeah, I mean, TY played really well here and picks up that victory 2-0. But I don't think RagnaroK played poorly, to be honest.
We're going to a break. When we come back, Bunny versus TY, if Bunny's really here.
Let's go!